Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to the YouTube channel. We have a special guest on today, the Mad Hatter from Sure Dog, one of the Sure Doggers. So to all the Sure Doggers out here, here's one of your own, and we hope to have more of you on. Remember, like and subscribe. Also, if you want the champ to analyze a 7-minute video, look in our membership on the YouTube channel. We also have it on Patreon if you like to do it that way. And for $24.99, the champ will look at your shadow boxing, sparring, or heavy bag work and give you feedback on it. You'll see him right up in the corner of the video watching and giving you feedback. And also you can join the channel for $2.99. All right, gentlemen, champ, you go ahead and take it away. We're talking about Garcia and the Davis-Garcia fight coming up.
Which is a really big fight during these days and times. So, and everybody is going to be watching that particular fight. You know, Davis and Garcia, they're really good boxers. You know, I tend to emphasize on defense all the time because I was a defensive fighter. Even though that overhand right was really good, and I knocked guys out with that and offense, but I was really good with defense. So. You know, this will be a good analyzing point we have to do right now.
All right, champ. We got a first person here. We have Afonso. He thinks Davis takes this one in his book. Garcia gets hit too much. What do you guys think about that? Do you think he gets hit too much? Garcia gets hit too much. His defense of the law.
You can go ahead, then.
Rick, go ahead. Give us your take on that.
We just was talking about defense.
Yeah, we just were. I think they both get hit a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Davis has more power, so I don't think that's a bad pick. I know Davis is the Vegas favorite. Like with the odds opened up, he's like minus 310. I think I saw him at. So I don't think it's a bad pick. I know Garcia's got the reach though, so if he can
and a good left hook, a good left hook.
Yeah, that check left he's got. Oh, it's really good. So, yeah, it's tough to say. I don't think it's a bad pick taking Davis though. No, he's got ungodly power. It's crazy.
He does.
Yeah.
And Davis is a southpaw, and so Garcia is going to have to practice how you attack a southpaw, how you have a defensive mechanism against a southpaw. You know, because I don't see a lot of modern day boxers today fighting these southpaws like I was taught how to stay on the outside of the lead of the lead hand. Like the southpaw's right-handed. I mean, well, he has his right out in front, and you don't see guys going on the outside of the southpaw and making them turn into punches. Everybody stay in front. Now that fight, the fight that happened, who was that was fighting? He was in front all the time. He was in front. Lopez fought the guy that he fought this guy, and he never went on the outside. He stayed in front of the left all the time. He never went on this side. So you're gonna have to have somebody that knows how to fight a southpaw to help you relax.
Bruce is here, champ. Just say hi to your man. Bruce is here.
Hey, Bruce.
With the mentioning of Davis being a southpaw too. I know Luke Campbell, who knocked down Garcia, was also a southpaw. So it's another factor.
Is Luke
from England? That's an interesting one to do a breakdown of, huh? To see how he fought a southpaw.
Yeah, Luke Campbell. He's the only guy to knock Ryan Garcia down.
Was Luke from England? Southpaw. Was Luke from England?
Yep, that's him. Yep.
Right, Luke. Okay, right. Yeah. So you know, Tank Davis get you out there with his speed. He keep his defense a little tight, but he's going to have to learn how to maneuver from that defense and deliver punches because he just keep like this and he'll fire back. Yep. You know, and he's really accurate. Tank Davis is.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We got let's see. It's Luke says Ryan will look a foot taller. Another person says Dio Davis is going to win. Luke knocked Ryan down with a left hook feint to the body and a hook up top. So I guess he threw a nice combination.
Well, I really think, real quick, I think that the boxers, a lot of boxers these days, they lack in defense. Very good on offense. But in terms of defense, that's what a lot of these boxers are lacking today. You see, that's why you see Tyson Fury and Dylan White and those guys, Deontay Wilder,
Yeah.
and they all went down 5 or 6 times in one round. That tells you something. The defensive mechanism are not being applied to these boxers today. Everything is offense, in my opinion.
I totally agree.
So, Rick, tell me,
Yep.
what do you think? What do you guys, both of you guys, think about De La Hoya? Do you think that Rick, do you think his fighting style may attribute to some flaws?
Oh, that's a good point. If he's Garcia's coach, so
What have you seen, Champ?
I think that De La Hoya, and I don't like to criticize nobody. De La Hoya was in good shape. He lacked defense too. All these guys just throwing offense. Defense is just as beautiful when you make a guy miss and throw the punch. And when so I think they lack a lot of defense. I see all offense really good. Oscar, bam, 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 bam. When it comes to defense, everything is just this. And it's beautiful when you slip a punch, when you block a punch and throw that. You just don't see it. I think that's what's adding into some of the negative stuff today.
Where do you see the fundamental flaw, Champ, with Garcia? Because I know probably a lot of people have him as the underdog in this. Where do you think he's going to make his biggest mistake? Do you think it's going to be if he's not circling like you always talk about with I'm sorry, I meant to say Davis. You think if he has a flaw, it's going to be him not circling to the outside?
I think not keeping his hands up tight and not delivering a straight right hand to keep Tank from coming in. You got to keep that right hand is like a jab. Now, like Dean was telling us, like he uses jab all the time against a southpaw, and I don't think that's Dean Williams, the road Welsh warrior, throwing the jab all the time with a southpaw. No, your jab is a right hand when you fighting a southpaw. So you got to keep delivering that right hand and then come back with that left hook and stay on the outside of his lead hand. The southpaw. This can cause a lot of problems just staying in front of the southpaw. Tank Davis love it. He love for you to stay in front of him. But if you go on the outside, he got to turn. He got to do extra stuff. So you're right there for the southpaw.
So let me ask you a question, Rick. Danger says here, I got Garcia. Tank is really deteriorating as a fighter. Tank becoming a mini Deontay Wilder. What's your feelings? And then, Champ, you go ahead and follow up.
Okay. Well, you got Davis. Mayweather's been helping him out now. So touching back on that defense, you think of a great defensive boxer. Floyd Mayweather's like one of the first ones that comes to mind, if not the first one. So he'll be able to, I think, clean up some of those flaws in his defense that we're talking about. And just that power. And he like kind of baits fighters in throughout the fight. He might give up the first couple rounds to Garcia, but that's just sitting there, picking out, really basically downloading what Garcia is putting out there so he can work on a counter later in the fight. I don't really see him deteriorating. He's only 28 years old. He's still a young man.
Well,
what's your feelings, Champ?
Well, what I see is where a lot of fans, a lot of people around the world are getting fooled. Floyd Mayweather has an all-natural defense. He has a defense that he reacts to his opponent when they throw punches, move. It's going to be hard for him to teach his defense because it's all natural. I seen him doing stuff on videos, and that's when I really recognize it. Now, there's guys that naturally move out of the way of punches, and there's guys that got torque defense like me. Here, stay there, slip here, and put your hands up here, keep blocking like this, slip. Floyd Mayweather is just, it's like nobody taught him his natural radar. And then once you get tired, you can get capitalized on, because when you get tired, you're going to have to put your hands up and learn how to slip. So I don't see him teaching defense because his is all natural. But I know there's guys out there like me that can teach the defense. When you get tired, that's when you know how to settle in and block this and block that. Floyd is a natural defense, but for him to teach it I think it's going to be hard. So that's what people getting mixed up at. There's guys with natural defense, like Ali moved out the way, but he couldn't teach that. It's natural.
So here's another question, guys.
Okay.
Rick, you go first on this one. Alfonso says Garcia 1, 2 little head movement, 2 linear footwork, drops hands and chin, drops hands and chin up too high. What do you guys think about those 3 points?
Well, doing all 3 of those, that's a good way to get knocked out with somebody with Davis's power. That's a recipe for disaster right there.
Do you think it's accurate?
To some extent, he's very hittable. He gets hit a lot in his fights. It's hard to pick somebody apart who, they're both undefeated. They're both way better than I'll ever be. So it's hard for me to critique them and feel comfortable doing so, but they're good points.
Tank does keep his this is Tank's defense. He just keep his hands here and that's it. That's Tank's defense. But once this leave, he's vulnerable. So he just got one defense where he stay like this and he whip that uppercut all the time. He practiced doing that. But in terms of blocking stuff other ways, he don't have that. So I do think there's a road for Garcia to get him if he put his combinations together. Tank did get hit in his last couple of fights.
Oh yeah.
This is all he does for his defense. He doesn't commit, like move his hands away and do like that. He'll just do like this and go boom, like that. So let's wait and see.
We got another answer here. Boss B says Garcia has never been tested under real pressure. When that happens, he drops the hands. What do you guys think? Go ahead, Rick. Fire off on that one.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at both their records, and Davis has definitely fought the more notable fighters than Garcia. I'd say that's pretty accurate too. And I know Davis will definitely put the pressure on him. They're both going to be in a fight, that's for sure. Yeah.
What do you think, champ?
I think the same way, the same thing. It's going to be a really good fight. Davis is going to have to adjust to fighting a guy he's short, a taller guy, and a guy that can really throw a good left hook. Let's hope that Garcia just know how to attack this southpaw. And Davis is explosive, so Garcia definitely is going to have to keep his defense tight. And keep him out in front. Keep Tank Davis out in the front and counter.
Well, Mad Chad says Tank should use a week. I'm sorry, Ryan could use a week with Tim. There's your man, Mad Chad. All right, let's see here. Alex,
he's got to tighten his defense up because I don't think that Garcia is a really good offense. I think the lack of him with his defense causes him not to really approach his opponents a certain way, the way he should. But he does approach him, get him out of there. But, there's some little things he needs to know to give him that confidence, more confidence in defense. He does have confidence. But deep to me, when you can block people, your opponent's punches, that gives you a lot of confidence, not getting hit.
All right, so let's see. Alex asks a question here, and I'm not sure who he's referring here to, but he says the reason Garcia does that is because he's naturally taller in his weight class, uses the lean back. All right, so he's talking about leaning back to bait in someone coming in to land the cheek hook, check hook. Go ahead, Rick. What do you think about that? Have you seen that?
I have, and he definitely uses that check left hook. Lean him. It's just, it's a risk. I wouldn't try it against somebody with Davis's power. That's just.
Well, if he leaned back, I didn't mean to cut you off. If he leaned back, as long as you keep his hands up, keep that hand up on it. So he leans back like this, without his hands
leans
up.
back with keeps his hands down. It's.
So I'm sorry. You either lean back right? When you lean back, you can get hit with the second punch. So when you lean back and a punch is coming, right? Okay, you can catch. Really, if you got your hands down, you're going to get hit with that second punch. So you missed the first punch, but the right hand is going to hit you. So when you lean back, you got to leave your hand up. You got to leave your hand up. You know.
You've seen that in MMA too, with Anderson Silva getting knocked out by Chris Weidman. He was leaning back. Oh, he slipped the first one, slipped the second, the third one right on the chin. Lights out. Over.
You only supposed to lean back for a split second, really.
Yeah.
Boom, and throw a punch, or lean back and then keep going. So a lot of guys just leaning back and getting hit with that second punch. Okay, the first punch calls you lean back. The second one is going to hit you. And if you don't have your hand up, you can either block it and throw a hook over top of that, but they leaning back without their hands up and getting caught with that shot.
Well, here we go. That one guy, Bones, says, if I was Tank, I'd be looking for the lead overhand. There you go, right up your alley, champ. Garcia seems to like putting himself right there for it. Go ahead, Rick. What do you think? Does he do that? Does he expose himself to the overhand?
I think it'll be there, especially in the later rounds. They're tired, a little tired. Hands start coming down a little lower. As you've been sitting there, it gets less technical, more of like a fight. Yeah, I can see it coming in the later rounds.
Okay. That's accurate right there. But
what do you think, champ? How would you set it up?
Set it up for a Tank to throw the left?
Yeah, when he gets a little tired, how would you recommend he set it up? Where would you see him setting it up and throwing that overhand on him?
Well, let's hope they both in really good shape, but don't have to go through that. You just have to set it up. Boxers will make mistakes when they get fatigued. When they get fatigued, they're going to drop their hands. They're going to do certain. Oh, I forgot this. I got to put my hands up, and that's when it's too late. So that's a gift if for your opponent if your hands is down and when you get tired. So you got to train hard. You got to be able to try to keep your hands up all the time. But not everybody is perfect. You just get caught with that shot. That's it.
How would you see him setting it up? How would you see him how would you have set him up for that overhand?
Me. Well, you got to engage and set it up down the line. So the overhand right. So you engage, you watch your opponent and see where his hand's at, and then maybe you can just let it go. Have your hands in the right place at the right time and let it go at any time. That's what I used to do. I used to have my hands up, and then when I'm working, I have it here and just let it go. Instead of you boxing and you engaging, keep that right hand. That's why these guys should keep the boxers keep their hands tight. Keep the hands tight because it's like a bullet in a chamber. And once you shoot that gun, it's going to come out strong. So it's right here instead of here. It's all out here loose. Keep it in tight. You got defense, and you're going to let it go right from there instead of out here. So that means a lot too. Keeping your defense tight. So when you catch the punch, you can deliver. So that overhand left that Tank has, if he does keep his hands tight. He keep it tight.
So here's another good question. Statement, I shouldn't say. Alex says, though Ryan has experience versus southpaws, Tank really hasn't had experience with elite reach and speed.
It's a fair point. I know Barrios, who when he fought Tank, he has a similar height and reach that Garcia is going to have. And that's the fight where Mayweather came up to him in the corner. He says, hey, Showtime has you down on the unofficial scorecards. Davis turned it up and then wound up knocking him out. But so you could see something similar with that, similar height and reach going against him because Showtime had him losing going into the later rounds.
Yeah, usually shorter opponents have to stay inside, Brian. And keep the defense tight and work inside. Tanks has been on the outside and he keep his hands like this, then he move in and whip that uppercut. So really them shorter guys supposed to try to work their way inside with a tight defense and try to get their opponents out. You don't see that much of it today. But Tank has a powerful uppercut. Once you get inside, you better watch out.
Well, here's an interesting point here. Jeff says, both of these guys have crazy quick reflexes and power. I'd be shocked if it went the distance. So maybe one of them's going to fire off soon, and that's it.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'll let you go
when,
first.
okay. When you get two undefeated guys like that, I kind of, if I were to put a wager on it, I'd bet that it would go the distance. I know Davis, they can each finish the, they're both finishers. They could definitely both finish it. I would bet it goes the distance. Just, you got two undefeated guys. Just in boxing, it's usually how I see it going. Two young undefeated guys. I can see these guys having a rematch. Like it's.
Real quick, champ. You just got a donation from Don C. Pansky.
That's not Don the Dragon.
Don the Dragon Wilson in here, ready to challenge you, champ. Go ahead, champ. Tell us what you're going to say.
Both of them guys are powerful. Anything can happen at any time. At any time. I don't think it's going to be a decision. Okay. I don't think it's going to be a decision. I think somebody's going down. Somebody's going down.
Garcia, champ called it here, everyone. Somebody's going down. Champ called it. It's not going to. What do you think, Rick?
Garcia got long arms. He throw a wicked left hook too. Davis got that wicked whipping uppercut, and he could punch. I think somebody's going down. Both good fighters too. They both good fighters.
Yeah. What do you think, Rick? You think somebody's going down? Do you think this is gonna 6 round?
Definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. I'd say if somebody were to go down, it would be Garcia. Just we've seen him drop before, and we've seen Davis knock out, 26 of his 28 opponents. He puts them away. I was reading before this, like 93% finish rate. Crazy. Like,
yes.
So, yeah.
All right. I just got another donation. Your man, the Landlord Harassment Channel, your buddy who's always challenging you.
Is he coming? Is he going to come? Tell him we got to go a couple of rounds.
He already said he'd knock you out.
Hey.
So what's interesting, call around. Give me your best guess, Rick. What round does somebody go down?
I'll say the 9th.
The 9th. What about you, champ? Throw something out there. Use your ESP powers there, whatever.
Well, because I see the lack of defense. It could be any round. It could be early. It could be late. And it might sound like a broken record, but I just see it all the time. The lack of defense nowadays. But when we were training, they would teach you defense and offense. I used to go in the gym, and some of the trainers be saying, your best defense is an offense. And I'm like, damn, my trainer told me they saying that because they don't know how to teach defense. They want you to throw all offense, so the opponent won't have a chance to hit you. But suppose you get tired, you're going to have to know defense. So when you see a trainer out there saying your best defense is your offense, I think that's because he don't know how to teach defense. So I don't ever tell the boxer your best defense is an offense, but I used to hear it a lot before in the past.
All right, here
best defense is defense.
We got a good question here. Boss B, yes, Tank just puts his hands in his head and walk forward. What's the best combos for each one? Like, with his technique, how would you take him down, champ? What would be your tactic? This would be what Garcia should do then.
Well, like I said, he keeps his hands and walk you. He walk you like this. So you're gonna have to be in shape. Go to the body, get him to try to lower his hands. I actually seen a guy, a trainer teaching this boxer to do this, pull his hand down. If you pull your hand down, he could counter you with that same hand. I seen this like last week. I said, no, I'm not going to tell somebody. So I seen the trainer tell me, pull the hand down, then throw a punch. No, keep throwing punches until he physically drop his hands.
And just something from your history and
you
something
understand what I'm saying, right? You understand what I'm saying? Why do that and then throw a punch? Too much more. Go ahead, Brian.
Would you use because everybody I know Tim's favorite body technique, one of them anyways, is the can opener. Would that be something you would focus on? I've seen you use it in a lot of your fights, and so everybody knows, champ. Tell them your can opener and whether you would use that heavily against Davis. Do you think that'd be effective?
I don't think so, but you use that at any given time when you're inside. It's just a 2 body shots. You bend your knees and you just dig a 2 body shot and go right back to defense.
You set it up with the jab, though, right, champ?
Well, you can do that. That's the slasher. You shoot through the long jab.
Slasher. I'm sorry, I think it's the slasher. That's right.
The slasher, you shoot the jab up high, and then you whip the right hand around where his waist is. I was successful with that a lot with Larry Holmes. If you watch that fight, I jabbed him, then whipped that right hand, and then his jab was starting to get weaker. When my trainer told me to start tearing his side up, and his jab did get weaker as the fight went on. So, yeah, you got to have you throw them body shots, come right back to defense. Do not stay there. Boom, boom. You want to get hit, bam. Boom, boom, defense. Boom, boom, defense. Right back to defense.
Seems like Sean Breezy says, nah, man, Tank is going to knock him out in the 7th. So he's calling the 7th round. All right.
A little earlier.
See how this all
It's going to
plays
be a
out.
good fight. That's going to be a good fight. That's going to be a good fight.
Let's see. Bruce says, I see Tank winning by KO, middle rounds. Chad Garcia plus 200, Tank at minus 260. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, the odds are moving then because Tank started out.
Oh, that's the odds. I got you. That's
yeah.
You're a betting guy, right?
Yeah, I bet a little bit.
I got to keep in touch with him. We got to keep.
So what are the odds looking like then? I guess it's that right now, 2 plus minus.
Yeah, they're getting closer then because it opened up. I believe Tank was minus 350, so you'd have to put 350 down to win 100 if you just betting him outright. And Garcia, I have him written down here. What was he? Plus 260, and you said he's plus 200 now. So every 100 you bet, you would get originally 260, but now it's only down to 200. So that means more money's probably coming in on Garcia to move the odds closer.
You know,
if you were betting, champ, throw it out there. If you were betting, you had to bet on one of them. Who would you bet on?
I would be scared to bet because
I give you $100. We're at Parks Casino. Here's $100. You got to pick my man. Who would you pick?
I've really emphasized on defense. I mean, I like them both, but at any time, either one of them get hit because the defensive mechanisms in there. You know, I can see if they both.
Who's my money on though, champ? Who are you going to put my money on? I know you won't bet, but you got my mom giving you my $100.
I've seen them both fight, and I do believe so. Tank keep his hands tight, and no, the last fight he didn't have the confidence in a way because he was moving away. But then when he got confidence, he walked that dude down and stopped him. So I don't know, man. That's hard. That's hard. Ryan might come out gunning him down. You never know. This kind of fight is hard to predict for me. I mean, predict.
What about you, Rick? Who's your money on? I'm giving you $100.
All right.
This is for everybody. Everybody out there, you get 100 of my dollars. You gotta bet it. Yeah. Who's your money gonna be on?
Well, you get the bigger payout if you go with Garcia, but if he loses, you obviously get nothing. I put it on Davis.
Gonna put it on Davis.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Bruce and Mad Chad? Who are you putting your money on? Looks like that one guy puts it on Davis. Ryan sticks that chin out. That's what Bruce says. Bruce is on the line. 100 on Tank. So Mad Chad's putting 100 on Tank. Matt's putting his money on Davis. And they were both good performers, but Tank seems more skilled and experienced. So Sean's feeling that it's going to be. It seems like everybody's leaning a little bit more towards Tank, guys. Money on. Oh no, we got another Davis. Okay. Not my money though. Matt says it's going for the knockout. Let's see. I'm betting Brian's
Garcia's
money
got like
on
a
Tank.
2.5 inch reach advantage.
Bruce is a Tank guy.
He's got a 2.5 inch reach advantage.
Reach advantage. Garcia does. Yeah.
All right. The landlord guy says we got to acknowledge. He just wants to know real quick: was Tyson's defense really good, champ? That's the landlord guy who donated the money.
Okay, I think that Tyson, if he slowed down, he would get hit a lot and knocked out. He was dependent on speed. Tyson was in front of you and just turned right in front of you and threw punches. I would never teach somebody to do that. He was gifted. He was gifted with strength and power and quickness. If he lacked down a little bit, he would get hit a lot. If you look at it, right in front of you, he just turned right in front of you and throw punches. I wouldn't teach about, but he was strong, quick, and could take it. So it was awkward the way Tyson fought, and he got the job done. But I wouldn't teach a guy with lesser strength to fight like that. I don't see nobody else fight like that and was successful. But Tyson was strong. He didn't care, and for me to be right in front of you and turn right in front of you instead of stepping on the side, he would turn right in front of you and throw a punch. But he was strong and really aggressive. So that's a style that you don't see it no more. You don't see nobody else fighting like that. Right?
Oh, we got people really like your. There was somebody else who mentioned that they just throwing out. There's some people from England out there. There's we got Matt Copin is love the England shirt, Tim. We got a big fight here tonight. Who wins, Tim? And then there was somebody else who said they liked your England t-shirt.
Yeah,
sorry, Rick. Go ahead.
That's my second. That's my that's my second home. Go ahead.
I wasn't saying anything. I was just laughing.
Oh, yeah, this is my second home. This is I think this is a rugby or soccer team. I got shirts from them guys. You know, my daughter's from there. I got a grandson that's from Barnsley. From near Barnsley. No, in Barnsley. I got a grandson there, and my daughter's from there. So I was over there all the time with Tyson Fury. I was with Dylan White. I was Anthony Joshua with these guys, and it's like my second home going over there. So I got a lot of these. I got these. I got some other rugby shirts. So
we got somebody else putting their money on. Jeff is putting his money on Tank.
Because he got that wicked left uppercut. And if you don't watch that, it's hard to defend. It's hard to defend that coming up the middle. And I don't think there's a lot of trainers out there to teach you that. So all you got to worry about that uppercut coming up the middle. You just got to turn in, but it can still slip right up that middle.
So Tim, who's more susceptible to it? Would you say Tank, or do you see Garcia as being more susceptible?
I think Garcia. If Garcia stay on the outside, I think the percentage will go down. But if he come in close, there's a good chance of him getting that uppercut up the middle. But with those long arms, he should be able to do something. And if somebody teach him correctly how to fight a southpaw or show him, I think he'll do a lot better too. Like staying on the outside of that lead hand. Nobody does it. Why you want to stay in front of the left, right here? Why you want to stay here when you can go on the outside and do a lot of work and make them turn into your punches, right? It's hard to describe it right here. So I'm a southpaw. You got to get on that side. If you stay in the middle, you're going to get eaten alive. Tank going to whip the uppercut right up the middle. But if you go on the outside and make them turn this way, you'll be more successful. I can
JR says Davis for the win. Everybody's behind Davis. Rick, what do you think about that uppercut? Do you think that could be a bit of a detriment for Garcia?
I think so. Davis, he's lower. He can come in, and once he's inside, that uppercut's right there. Like once you're inside, and that's where he's got, like Tim was saying, he's got to fight inside, being the smaller man. He's got to get inside. So yeah, that uppercut's fits right into how I would game plan anyway. Absolutely.
How would Tim, if you were training him? I'm sorry. Go ahead, champ.
No, I'm just saying. This is what a lot of boxers today, when they fight in the southpaw, they don't know about the option on the outside of that lead hand. And once they get on that outside, the southpaw got to turn into his punches. Nobody's using that. An old timer taught me. Like the last fight, he stayed in front of him. Right in front of here, and me and Brian was like, wow, he need to go on the outside and make him turn. If you guys know what I'm saying, okay, like I said, I'm going to do it again real quick. This is Tank's right hand, right? This is his jab.
Lead hand.
Everybody's staying on the middle. Everybody's staying here. There's nobody going on that side and making them turn. Okay? That's the
you got another donation here. Now it's Randy with a fork. He's challenging.
We're gonna have to fight. We're gonna have to fight.
He's gonna knock you out again.
I'll hang a sign up his eyes saying "closed for the weekend."
How would you? So, Tim, how would you? If you were training Tank, what would you focus on for him to use that uppercut against Garcia? From what you've seen with Garcia's weaknesses.
he's going to have to. Well, Tanks would have to get inside, like we talked earlier. He stay on that outside, he can get picked off, and then it'll be a matter of who's going to get tired first. You know, somebody's going to have to make a decision and try to move. Tank's going to have to try to move and get inside. If Ryan keep him on the outside, he could possibly catch Davis, and Davis can go down. So it's a matter of defense and shifting in and out and throwing your punches, getting in, throwing your punches, and not getting hit.
So
That's my
Sean
opinion.
says here Garcia has the left hook going for him. So Garcia's left hook, and you think, but you both think it's Tank's got the uppercut going for him. That's going to be his lethal thing. Ryan, take this away. So what do you think about that comparison?
He keeps his hand. Good. It's your turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have the left hook, but like Tim was saying, with his right hand, he's going to be trying to keep him he's going to be on the other side of it. It's so Ryan would have to kind of come inside of that hand to try to land the left hook, which brings him into the power hand. It would be, risky to do. He's going to have to do it during the fight if he's looking for a finish.
You can't stay in there. You can't stay in there where the uppercut is. You're going to have to go on the outside. And so I think when Tank can't hit you with that uppercut, and there's some other things he does with that left, he's going to have to think, well, what am I going to do? This guy keep going over here, and he never had to do that before. Tank never had to chase a guy on the outside of his lead hand, like go over this way. Everybody stays in front of him,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a matter of showing him how to get on the outside and aggravate Tank, where Tank, no, you're not here. Now, what am I going to do here? He's on this side now. I got to turn into his punches. What am I going to do? I don't think his trainer is going to let him know what to do when somebody get on this side. And a lot of people and fans are never always seeing everything in front, right here, but not on that side.
So, Champ, if you see that first round, Garcia's working hard to stay on the other side of.
He's not going to do that because nobody's going to be able to teach him. I'm telling you. Go ahead. You can make that statement. There's nobody. Oscar doesn't know how to do that. Oscar, old time guys taught me that. Oscar don't know how to do that, and I'm not taking anything against him. I love him and everything. There's a lot of trainers, a lot of these young guys and stuff. They don't know how to get on the outside. They just doing stuff on the inside. And if it was his last fight, you would have saw it on the last fight with the Spanish brother, Mexican brother that he fought. He never went on the outside. Everything was in the middle.
Yep.
Everything was in the middle. You had options over here on the outside of the lead hand.
So what it sounds like to me, Nick, and you tell me that, I mean, if he doesn't stay on the outside, it sounds like he's going to set himself up with Tank really going to set himself up. So it seems like it leans the favoritism towards Tank if he doesn't utilize that. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's why you see the odds open the way they did, given Davis, be the pretty big favorite, minus 300, minus 310. I agree with that. I kind of have a quick question. Tim, do you think that Davis has to be the aggressor, though, in order to win the fight? Does he have to be the one coming forward?
Listen, Ryan got long arms. I do believe that Tank is going to have to move in a little closer because Ryan is pretty good keeping you out there, keeping you out there on the end of his punches. And Tank, and nobody's in his corner that's going to teach him that old time trick going inside, staying on the outside. He's always in front of you.
Yep.
There's nobody, I swear, if you watch the videos, you don't see nobody going on the outside. I did it a lot, going on the outside that lead hand. So, and Tank is shorter. I'm not saying that he's not going to be, hit Garcia, but he don't have that many options. He stays right in front of you. Okay, so
Sean says this might be Garcia's toughest fight. He's gonna need to set traps and use counters like Hector did.
Totally.
Camacho?
The guy training him. Is that who Hector? Who? Yeah. That's
He's one of my favorites, Macho Camacho.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Yeah.
That dude can't sit still.
No.
Okay, we can't real quick. We was in Florida, so we was down there. We was talking to him. Hey, champ, how you doing? Right? We turned around and went like this. He right down the street about. This guy cannot sit still. He's like a moving. He's everywhere. When you're in front of him talking, as soon as you turn, where the hell did he go? This guy, what the hell did he eat?
I remember watching him as a kid, and then he's who got me into like watching more and more boxing. It was like, wow, this guy's insane. Like it's just yeah. He's
Sean says he meant Hector Garcia.
Okay.
Well, you know more about Hector than I do. Is Hector a right-handed, right? He's right-handed.
I'm not familiar with Hector Garcia. Look, right. Who is he?
I don't know. That's what this guy Sean said. He meant Hector Garcia.
Oh, the last opponent of Davis, who Davis just fought.
Oh, that's what he must mean.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he moved a lot. He moved around a lot, pretty good. Yeah, he moved around a lot, and threw a lot of punches. He did pretty good that fight. Like they were saying, it could have. You talking about the Lopez and right? He moved around a lot, and Lopez didn't really fight him the way he was supposed to fight him, but he did pretty good. I don't know. They're saying the other guy won. They're saying Hector won the fight. A lot of people thought that he won the fight.
I think
Dad's saying there's some above average 130. Is he talking about the betting odds? Above average 130.
No, I think that maybe weight classes. I'm not sure.
Oh, is that what above average 130? Oh, above average. Yes, you mean weight classes. Sorry, Chad. I thought maybe the betting odds changed.
Yeah, lightweight's got a bunch of guys in it. Lomachenko, Haney, Shakur Stevenson just moved up.
Ooh.
Yeah. Willie Moses used to be the boxing coach at the gym I went to before Shakur really blew up.
Willie Moses or Mosley?
No, Willie Moses, Shakur's grandfather.
Okay.
Yeah, his coach. Yeah, Henzo Gracie's in Middletown. He used to be the coach there. Very nice guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so your man, the Landlord Harassment Channel says Tim was the greatest Latino fighter of all time. And who was? I'm sorry, who was the greatest Latino fighter in your opinion? I thought he was saying you were the greatest Latino.
Oh, yo no hablo español. Yo hablo poquito español. I love to speak Spanish. I do. Who's the best Spanish boxer? A trainer?
Boxer, I guess he asked.
Okay. I don't know. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones. Benitez had a good defense, but evidently he was getting hit a lot because you know that he can't speak or nothing, like he's messed up neurologically. But Benitez had a radar, but he got hit a lot. And they said Ali float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I love him, but he got hit a lot. You know, Ali did get hit a lot, and then he missed a lot of punches. But he was
this guy, buddy, the Landlord Harassment. That's a whole nother video, man. That'd be an interest. Who was the greatest? Get a couple more sure doggers on here to argue that one out.
Yeah,
I feel that could get heated.
Yeah,
I bet that get heated. So Joe asks, how's Mitch Green and Terrell Briggs? Hope they are getting their legs back. Well, the champ and I are going up with a doctor, an MD, who's a doctor of physiatry. So he specializes in injuries, traumatic injuries and stuff. He's part of the TBI, Traumatic Brain Injury Board. He's coming up with us in February to meet Mitch. And we're going up with David Tiberius. Is that how we
Tiberi,
Yeah, Tiberi. Another legendary boxer, and we're gonna get him the treatment he needs, and we're gonna maybe even do a fundraiser if we have to, given how much his insurance will cover. And Terrell Briggs, I think, is also getting some top class treatment. He's got a really good support team around him. His brother is amazing. I got to do this, Camp. I got to grab the book.
I talked to him yesterday. I talked to Blood Green yesterday. He's doing good. we got a guy did a video with a guy. The guy gave him some money for like a 20-second video yesterday. I talked to Blood yesterday, Brian, and he's doing good. He's looking forward to us coming up there to help him. And you know, he's doing good. I said, look, man, I'm driving. He said, no, Spoon. I just want to let you know that I did the video, man. And he's starting to feel better. He's starting to feel really good. He was paranoid about a lot of things. But now he's okay.
Some help there too, huh, champ? And
Huh?
by the way, this is Terrell Briggs' brother.
Terrell Biggs.
Terrell Biggs. I meant Biggs. That's
Xavier. That's Xavier. Xavier Biggs. We
This
trained
is
in
his
the
book.
same gym. Okay, real quick, we trained in the same gym called the Old Pashuck Gym where Sylvester Stallone and them made the movie. You see that Italian market? That's where the gym was, right there over top. And it was a great experience. It was an Italian neighborhood, and everything was Italian around there. Now it's like Mexicans, Vietnamese, there's Africans, on that Italian market. I think everybody should, if you're in Philly, go down and see the Italian market where Sylvester Stallone made the movie. It's really beautiful down there.
Somebody made a good statement that you're passionate about, Gus. Benitez is messed up because his father had him fighting since he was 4, no headgear, no nothing. So by the time he was 25, he was already shot. I know you're passionate about that, champ.
Yeah, I was with Benitez several times. It's man, I'm blessed. I was with Sugar Ray, Benitez, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. I wasn't with George Foreman, but one time, but all these guys, man, and it's just a privilege just to get involved with all these great stars and stuff like that. Yeah, but I was with Benitez, man. He's a radar. You couldn't hit him, but he also promoted. Everybody promoted that he wouldn't get hit, but he did get hit. He got hit a lot too. You know, when you really look at it, he got hit a lot.
So Boss B makes a statement here. Why nobody block like the champ, Tim Witherspoon? He's the best Philly shell I have ever seen. The way he moves the right hand side to side is incredible. Holyfield does it, but he took punches anyway.
Yeah, because Holyfield. So there's I was taught the defense by a really good trainer, Slim Jim Robinson, who trained Mike Rossman, the Jewish bomber, who beat Victor Melendez for the light heavyweight championship of the world. And Mike Rossman was kicking everybody butt down there in Pashuck Gym. You know, here's a white kid in there. He had a black trainer that knew stuff. He was beating everybody up, you know. And then Slim was the man. Told him how to do all that stuff, you know. So Mike was really good. But the question was, I'm sorry. The question was
no, it just wasn't a question. It was just stating you had the greatest.
I told.
So we got an
I
interesting
was scared.
question here, champ.
Yeah.
For Rick, I'll let you start this one off.
Sure thing.
Do you all think heavyweights will be back to the old glory days of the 80s anytime soon? Heavyweight skills level seem a little bit lower these days.
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I think Tyson Fury, no disrespect to him, I think he's got to be mentioned with one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. I just think he's a little bit above like the other level of the competition right now. So if you were to talk about like greats, I think you'd have to throw Tyson Fury in there. So it's I wouldn't say the heavyweights nowadays are like not as good. Maybe the division as a whole, which I don't see being as exciting as it was back then.
Well, you know, I'm just like I was saying before when the show started, something is wrong because each one of those top heavyweights went down at least 4 or 5 times in big fights. You didn't see that when I was fighting. So the competition is a little awkward. You got Deontay Wilder, who just got the right hand and nothing else. And I felt really bad for him. He doesn't have anything else but that right hand, really. And then, you know, went down the line, it just told him he got knocked out and everything. And But if he had more skills, he would still be undefeated. If he had good defensive mechanism, he would still be undefeated. His legacy would be like much more like when he finished, everybody said, whoa, because he got that good right hand. If he knew how to block, slip punches and deliver punches, he just depends on that right hand. And his defense is like this. He'll go like this. And I was like, oh, I feel so bad for Dante because when he come out, his hands be like this when he come out to fight. And I said, can't somebody tell him to come out like this? I was reaching out to these guys, man, and look bad. You got okay, so that's pretty much my take on it.
Go ahead, Rick.
Oh, I was going to say, and Joshua too. He's lost a couple times, so it's like a couple years back. I was like thought he was going to be destined for greatness, but he's kind of teetered off here a bit.
So the thing is too, they don't realize that they need somebody to teach them stuff. They're loyal to their team, and that's not going to pay they paying the bills. They got paid, but down the line when you will become the Muhammad Ali or Joe Frazier, you don't want that to get messed up. So it could have been avoided, but the loyalty to each other. He had a amateur trainer. There's other trainers out here, 2-time heavyweight champ. You got other champs that can show you more. And I don't have nothing against McCracken, nothing against him. But you see these things, and I sent messages out to Anthony for my services, and he said, "No, Tim, I got my team. I'm all right." He don't really know. About these things. A lot of those heavyweights, they don't really know what they need. They're just getting in there and fighting. They don't know what they need. But back then when I fought, the managers would say, nah, we getting you somebody else and pull somebody else in there to help. Don't get rid of them, but have the trainer part of your team.
Make the team bigger.
Huh?
I said just like make the team bigger.
Yeah,
bring in new teammates.
Get somebody that know what they're doing and keep the guy that was with them. They could bring me in. I don't have to be in the corner. Let that other guy to get the glory. I want to see you win. And show you all that stuff. Slip here, slip. You don't see nobody heavyweights doing that. Blocking here. That's beautiful art. It's called art. Blocking and stuff. You don't see that. So that's what's missing today. That's what's missing.
Well, here's an interesting statement. Rick, you start this one off.
Okay.
The landlord harassment channel guy asked, "It amazes me how powerful Wilder's punches are. His wrists are so small that you wouldn't expect him to have KO power like that." That's interesting. Real quick, I'll just say when I meant Duran, first thing I did was looked at his hands and they weren't damaged or any, and didn't look like somebody who could throw stone punches. So it's amazing what guys' hands might look like, but conflict with their punching power. Go ahead, Rick. You talk.
Yeah, because he's like 6'7", 215, right? Wilder, like very, very lean. And no, I totally agree. He doesn't have the look like that he could hit hard, but boy could he. He can. It's
some clocks.
Ridiculous knockout power. I'd say some of the top in boxing, if not the probably hardest hitter in boxing.
Yeah, but his arms are big right here. But
he doesn't have an ounce of fat.
Yeah, huh?
There's like not an ounce of fat on him. No, he's 215.
Muhammad Ali's hands are small.
Okay.
I saw Muhammad, his hands, I was like, whoa, so yeah,
The hand size question, right? The bigger the hands, the bigger the punch. But not true in boxing.
Listen. A lot of things could have been avoided if the management and promotions knew about boxing in terms of education. Back then, when I was coming, Don King, he would get rid of you. I keep talking about this on shows. Not get rid of you. He would do something about it. Dennis Rappaport, who had Cooney, I was with him at one time. He would come. These promoters and managers need to come to camp, see what the boxers go through, see what the skills are. Well, I know they just want to make money and stuff. They want to make money, but get involved, and that really motivates the boxer, seeing his promoter and manager coming to see him sometimes instead of them in the gym all the time. But back in the Don King used to come in there, and if he didn't like it, he would do something about it. Dante Wilder, his situation could have been avoided. Anthony Joshua's situation could have been avoided. They have to put their 2 cents in it and be involved in the management, in the training and everything. Learn boxing. So you don't. Deontay Wilder should still be undefeated and go down in history as one of the greats. He should. The management and the business have to be involved too. Don't just make the money. It makes a boxer feel really confident that you care. When you come to the gym. And so don't just make the money. Come in and watch me and see me and help me make decisions with the trainers and all that too. That makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's a good point. Never really thought of it that way.
Yeah.
It's a great point.
Listen, Dennis Rappaport, he came into the camp, and if he didn't like it, he did something about it. If you needed something, he would get it for you. If we need sparring partners, he got it for me. And that's what motivates a boxer, and getting the right trainer in his corner. Anthony Joshua had an amateur trainer, and I'm not taking nothing against him. I love them all, but you got to make the right decisions, man. You have to get somebody, a former 2-time heavyweight champ, or a former guy that's been there and done that and can speak clearly. I can speak good. I had a good defense. What the hell's the matter with these guys? So you can't get everything, though. You can't get everything. So I was like, man, that's all you have to do is reach out. At least give a guy a chance to show you what you got, So this is the results of that. The promoters and the managers, Bob Aaron and them, if they didn't like it, they would get, and that's I think he has something to do with Dante. I don't know what's going on now. Maybe getting old, but they would get a replacement or get somebody in there to help. They're not doing it these days. Millions of dollars is floating around, so they want to get the money. They don't care about the education. They're not caring about the boxer. They know it's 20 million. They know it's 100 million. But the legacy is tainted. Once you lose or once you get exposed, that messes up your legacy. And Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and a couple of others, they could have avoided that. That's the truth. And I love everybody. I just want to speak on how I feel, what I was taught and stuff. And it's not the same things that are happening when I was fighting. They're not happening today. They're not happening.
Rick, what's your feelings, brother, about all of that?
I didn't even know that Anthony Joshua only had an amateur in the corner. Like, being at the that's crazy hearing it from me. Hearing from Tim, for me to hear, because you're at the very top level. He's the champ, and you don't have champions teaching you. You're just like amateur. Like, you're just setting yourself up for failure after hearing that. And in hindsight, it makes sense why he's kind of teetered down. If you're the champ, that's the top of the top.
When you get to them serious fights, you're gonna need. That's when it's going to come in. Okay, them early fights. Okay, you getting it there, you might get exposed a tiny bit, but when them serious fights come, you're going to need that guy. And
absolutely, people who have been there, they can tell you what to expect, and an amateur can't do that.
Now, Brian, Deontay Wilder should still be undefeated. Look how the way when he come out, he hold his hand. That's embarrassing. Yeah. I love these guys. He come out like this, and then all he got is the right hand, and then he'll get like that. That's embarrassing for the manager and the promoter. And I love these guys for to allow him to look like that on television.
Yeah.
When he fought Tyson Fury, and the way he was delivering punches at certain times, I was like doing like this. All this money being made. But I think like the public, the people they just want to see a fight. They don't want to see skills like us, guys like us. I'd rather see Deontay Wilder setting himself up, bang, 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 hands up, blocking punches. You didn't see that. All you see was this.
Yeah, just looking for that one shot, just that right hand. Yeah.
And they making millions. I guess that's the way it is these days. I was really disappointed, and I felt bad for him. And we did a podcast, and I got and Malik Scott was criticizing me. But if I couldn't do the job, I would tell them, look, man, I don't think I can help this guy. But ain't nobody gonna say that. They want to get that money and the prestige. They want to get the television on them. So they rather go down and hurt the boxer and him by not saying, hey man, I don't think I can do the whole job. Can you get somebody to help? They ain't gonna do that. They're gonna take that $800,000 or that $1 million. They're gonna get that 10% as a trainer, and they're gonna go down with the ship. Deontay Wilder could have, Anthony Joshua too. They could have been saved, but I don't know if the management. Go ahead.
We'll close it up. So go ahead, champ. Well, Nick, go ahead, say your piece.
Nick.
We're gonna close it
have
up.
fun, Nick. That's cool that you came on. That's beautiful.
Yeah. No,
Thank
thanks
you.
for having me. It was great. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I really
We'll have you
appreciate it,
back
guys.
on.
Go ahead.
Awesome.
And
Go
maybe
ahead,
do a
cover it.
breakdown. Do you want to do fight breakdowns with the champ too?
Absolutely. Yeah, whatever. And I'm right from Pennsylvania too. I'm just like
He's
a little
right up
bit
the
north.
road from us, champ.
Yeah.
He's right up near Scranton, right? Or close to it.
Yeah, I work in Scranton. I live in Pike County. So
We don't want to
was
dox
training.
you though. We
I
know
was
how those
training
people
boxers
are
in
in Sure Dog.
I was training. I'm sorry, I was training boxers up in Scranton.
no, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
was up
awesome.
there. I was up there training boxers, and then for about 8 months, I was training boxers up there. And matter of fact, there's a Spanish boxer. I forgot his name. He's supposed to be on the big card. I forgot his name, and I trained with him every day. Then there was a heavyweight Bronco. He was 6'6".
Oh, geez.
He was
Yeah.
he was Dominican. This kid, if he would have kept on, he would have been the force. This dude was cool. He had big hands, Bronco, but we couldn't get him to commit to the boxing game. He had a family. His wife had a baby or two, so he couldn't do it at the time. But I think he's fighting again.
Oh,
Bronco was his name. Whoa.
Yeah. Check him
We'll have
out.
to look for him.
Yeah.
We'll have to look. All right, well, champ, it's our hour mark here. So
wanna thank
hey,
you.
everybody out there, thank you for staying with us. And we look forward to you guys coming to another one of these. We'll have the Mad Hatter on here again.
Sweet.
And some other people from Sure Dog, which is a forum. There's a lot of stuff on there. They have MMA and everything, boxing. And remember, like and subscribe. And also, if you want the champ to do a breakdown of your spar, remember the 7-minute video. It's in our membership for $24.99. Go ahead, champ.
I know. I just want to say, I don't know everything, but I know enough. That's all I got to say. I don't know everything, but I know enough. And I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you for coming on. We got to build up, man, so people could really get a good information from us.
Boss B doesn't want you to leave. He says, I hope you live to 120 years. Tim Champ.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. All right, thanks for coming, and look forward to our next live coming soon.
Thanks again, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
See you later, Mad Hatter.
Okay, man. Let's keep in touch, okay?
Definitely.
All right. Thank you for
100%.
coming on.